Hello, and welcome to the first video on this channel. So on this channel, I'll be mainly focusing on the basic fundamentals of typography, and later on, maybe I'll get into more advanced topics. Before we start, I'll show you some of the work that I've done so you know that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, keep it simple. Drop a rock into the water, watch it ripple. Tides turn quick, just keep your head on a swivel. Competition getting stiff.
Okay, so in this video, we'll be covering two main topics, and that is visibility and purpose. So these two aren't necessarily two separate topics, but they'll keep playing into each other, so I'll keep bringing up those terms. So essentially, purpose is what you're going to be using the typography for. So if it's for a phone, for a poster, video, or like a IMAX theater screen, something like that. Depending on the purpose, you have to change your typography so that it can either fit better or it'll be visible. And leading into that, visibility is just being able to see the typography well. So a lot of people use like white text on a white background. That is bad visibility. It does not matter how good of a typography you have if you can't see it. So I think a good example of visibility would be Snapchat, actually, because the default text on Snapchat is white, but no matter what, there's always that kind of gray translucent strip in the background that lets it pop out from the background, even if the background is white. The purpose of the text on Snapchat is to get text onto any background possible. So even if it's a super bright background or a super dark one, the black strip will make sure that the white text will always pop out. And I think that's a great example of visibility. Coming back into the topic of purpose, let's think about what you're going to be using this for, most specifically size. Size also plays a part in visibility because there's a difference between being an actual title in the video and being something like a YouTube thumbnail. If it's a thumbnail, then you don't want to use like thin, small text. You want to use like bright, bold, thick text if you can, so that it's visible even when the thumbnail is small. One thing that I think helped me with making my text visible, especially color-wise, is to make sure that you never use full whites or full blacks. So whenever you use white or black, make sure that it's always slightly into the grayscale. So you never want to go all the way to the white. You want to make it slightly darker, and you never want to go all the way to the black. You want to make it slightly lighter. So that just in case you want to use text on top of it, even if you have something like a drop shadow or something like that, it still helps if it's a different color from the background. If you have an absolute black, you can't go darker than absolute black. So I think using a little bit less than that, it gives you more freedom to use the colors that you want to. Okay, so that brings an end to the first video in my series of how to do typography. Obviously that wasn't too much information, that wasn't too complicated, but I wanted to focus on fundamentals, at least for this episode, and later on we can get to more techniques to get you closer to what I've shown you in the beginning of the video with my clips. Obviously I'm not exactly a master of typography, but I think I know enough to help people get into the art of typography. And I think it should help most people who are using text in any situation. So yeah, thanks for watching.